All right, let's try this again. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be working on 20 ISO's item number 5 in this little screencast. We're going to be making this little house-shaped thing, but instead of just extruding a couple of sketches, I'm going to show you how to do a symmetric extrusion. I'm going to show you how to make a work plane projected from a plane, and we're also going to use the mirror tool a couple of times. So let's just go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start by making this larger section first, but I'm going to make it on a plane that's in the middle, and I'm going to extrude it outwards from there. Okay, so I'm going to need to make a line that's that height as well as that height and some other dimensions. So make sure that you have those dimensions sketched out. I'm going to go ahead and get started on a fresh copy of this. So File, New, Part, and then let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start doing this on this XY plane because in my mind, that makes the most sense. Now, I'm going to start out by making a construction line in order to reference. I'm just going to start here at the origin, and I'm going to go straight up, and that's going to go a distance of 5 inches. Okay? Now, when I zoom out, I got that nice 5-inch long construction line right there. So now I'm going to turn my construction line off, and I'm going to go ahead and start making my lines for my actual house. Now, I don't want to draw the whole house. I only want to draw the front half of it. Then I'm going to mirror it. So I'm going to click here when my dot turned green for that nice constraint. And then I'm going to go 3 inches forward. And now I want to go up another 3 inches because that's the height of the wall there. And now zoom out a scotch, and I'm going to come back and click the top of that construction line. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my mirror tool, and it's already highlighted to select the geometry I want to mirror. So I'm going to click that line for the roof, that line for the front wall, and that line for the bottom. Now I'm going to come over here and select my mirror line and select that construction line. So all those lines should be blue. Now I click apply, and now I have the whole thing made. Okay, I'm going to click done to close that window. Now I'm going to finish that sketch because that's all I want from that. And now I'm going to go ahead and extrude that sketch. But instead of just pulling it in one direction, I want to do a symmetrical extrusion because you see how this front feature is centered in it? I want to use our origin planes in order to establish where that is. So going back here, I'm going to click this symmetric extrusion, and I'm going to type the width that I want, which I believe is 8 inches. Yep, that's 8 inches. And as you see, it types it in to this box at the top. So it's saying the overall length of it is 8 inches and each side is 4. So I'm going to click OK on that, and cool, it did exactly what I wanted. Now I need to create this front thing. Okay, so I want to use my mirror tool again. I only want to sketch one side of it, but I need to make sure that that side is on the same plane as that bottom front edge, and it's also lined up in the middle. So I need to show and project that geometry. In addition to, I need to actually make a sketch out here in space, not on this surface. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and to get that geometry I want, I'm going to come into my origin folder in the browser, and I'm going to find the plane I want, and that's that XY plane. I'm going to right click on that, and now I'm going to turn the visibility on that. Also, I'm going to go ahead and come to my YZ plane. I'm going to right click that, and I'm going to turn my visibility on that as well. Now, I'm going to go ahead and create a work plane. I want to click the down arrow and select offset from plane. Now I need to select the correct plane, which is that YZ plane, and I want to offset 5 inches forward. Okay. So I just typed in 5 and hit enter, and it automatically made that. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to right click that plane, and I'm going to turn its visibility back off. Now I need to create a new sketch, and I need to create it on that plane. Okay, but I don't just want to arbitrarily have that sketch. I can't just arbitrarily make it here. I need to make sure that I'm projecting the edges that I want to reference. So I want to turn this thing and orbit it so that way I can see that line and grab that line to project it onto my sketch. And I also want to make sure that my plane is projected into that sketch. So now what I'm going to do, just click the view cube so it zooms in on it. I'm going to go ahead and create another construction line to kind of guide that midpoint of the ridge of the house again. So clicking that when it's green there, and I'm just going to come up 4.5 inches because when I counted it out, that's what it was. Now I'm going to drop my line tool so that way I can shut off my construction line. I'm going to grab my line tool again, and I'm going to find that green constraint again, click on it, and I'm going to go over 2 inches, enter. And now I'm going to come up the 3 inches that the wall height's going to be. And now I'm going to come over here to that mark at the top of that construction line again. And I'm just going to click on that, okay? Now I've got my geometry again that I can go ahead and mirror again. So click, 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 and now my mirror line. You can either do the construction line or you can do that geometry right there of the projected geometry. Click apply, and it's all there, okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and click done with that because I am done with that. I'm going to right click this plane and I'm going to turn the visibility off on it so that's not as confusing. And now I'm going to go ahead and extrude this field, okay? As soon as I click finish sketch. Now, let's extrude that. I'm going to collect or select this as well as that. And you see how it's wanting to do what we did before? Well, we only want to go in one direction. Flipped. There we go. We're going to extrude back, but I don't want this thing to extrude into the house. I want to go ahead and extrude to next. And what that's going to do is it's going to take from this plane out until it finds some next piece of geometry, some next feature. And it's going to extrude until it gets to that point. So there we have it. Just going to shut that visibility off on that to make it a little bit cleaner. And there is the shape. So hopefully this helped you out. Please let me know if you have any questions and make sure you save your work with your initials at the end. Have a great day.